The demand curve facing a monopoly has a negative slope. Since the firm is the sole seller in the industry, the demand curve facing the firm is the demand for the product. Therefore, the demand facing a monopoly conforms to the law of demand. A monopoly can increase the market price by producing less, and the monopoly can decrease the market price by producing more. This means, for example, that Pfizer can increase unit sales of Viagra by reducing the price of Viagra, and can increase the price of Viagra by reducing the quantity of Viagra supplied in the market. Since the monopoly faces a downward sloping demand curve, the firm's task is to find the combination of price and quantity to produce and sell. This is more complicated than the perfect competition. In perfect competition, price is set, and all the firm's got to do is find quantity. The monopoly has to find both price and quantity simultaneously. Let's find the price and quantity that maximizes profit for a monopoly that faces the demand and cost described in the table. Total revenue is price times quantity. So 0 times 13 is 0, 1 times 16 is 16, 2 times 15 is 30, 3 times 14 is 42, 4 times 13 is 52, 5 times 12 is 60, 6 times 11 is 66, and 7 times 10 is 70. Profit is simply total revenue less total cost. Quick subtracting gives me minus 13. It's going to give me 2, then 13, then 20, then 23, then 22, 17, and finally 8. So we can circle in green the maximum profit. It's $23. We achieve this maximum profit when we produce 4 units of output. 23 occurs in the row with quantity equal 4, and the price in that row is 13. So this firm maximizes profit by producing and selling 4 units of output, charging a price of $13, and its maximum profit is 23. Now, let's talk a little bit more about what happens to profit when a monopoly increases quantity. Profit may rise or fall. Profit increases if marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost, and profit decreases if marginal revenue is less than marginal cost. Well, what's this thing called marginal revenue? It's a new term for you. Marginal revenue is the extra revenue generated when the firm sells an additional unit of output. The equation is the change in total cost divided by the change in output. That an increase in output makes profit increase when marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost is logical. If my total revenue goes up more than, let's say it's greater than, if my increase in total revenue is greater than the increase in total cost, that's going to make my profit rise. The difference between total revenue and total cost is going to be going up. On the other hand, if the increase in total revenue is less than the increase in total cost, that's going to make my profit go down. We can illustrate this relationship by filling in some numbers in a table. Let's go back and look at the table we used earlier. Now, fill in some values. I've got quantity going from 0 to 7. You can barely see at the bottom, we'll be okay. We've got total cost going from 13 to 62. I've already put in my marginal cost. They go from 1 to 13. We've worked with them. We worked with marginal cost earlier. Marginal cost again is the extra cost the firm incurs. So we got a +1, and then we got a +3. Now, marginal revenue is the change in total revenue over change in Q. So revenue goes from 0 to 16. Output went up by 1. So marginal revenue is going from output 1 to output, going from output 0 to output 1 to $16. When I go from 1 to 2, total revenue rises by $14. Again, since the change in quantity is always 1, marginal revenue is simply the change in the total revenue. Now it's going to be 12, and here it's 10, and here it's 8, and here it's 6, and down at the bottom it's going to be 4. So we have marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost. 1, 2, 3, 4. As quantity goes from 0 to 4, marginal revenue is above marginal cost. As we go from 4 down to 7, marginal cost is higher than marginal revenue. Notice, as we go from 0 up to 4, profit goes from minus 13 up to 23. As long as marginal revenue is above marginal cost, more output makes profit rise. But then, do it in red, when marginal cost is below when marginal revenue is below marginal cost, if we increase output even further, we see profit decrease. So profit rises when you increase output. As long as marginal revenue is above marginal cost, profit will decrease when marginal revenue is below marginal cost. Well, this gives us a way to figure out how to calculate the maximum profit for monopoly. We need information about price, marginal cost, marginal revenue, and average total cost. We follow a four-step process. We want to use information about marginal revenue and marginal cost to find the profit maximizing quantity. We want to increase output as long as marginal revenue is above marginal cost, and we want to stop once further increases would make marginal revenue less than marginal cost. So these two rules identify the profit maximizing quantity. Then we identify price, we identify marginal cost at that quantity, and then we simply plug into our profit formula to calculate profit. Let's work an example. Here quantity goes from 10 up to 12. Price decreases from 31 to 29. I've calculated marginal revenues already, and I've got marginal cost calculated. First task, where's profit? What quantity maximizes profit? Well, marginal revenue is above marginal cost, so we want to go from 9 to 10. Marginal revenue is above marginal cost again, so we want to go from 10 to 11. But danger, 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 Will Robinson. We do not want to go from 11 to 12, that's an X or whatever you want to call it, because then that would make marginal cost be higher than marginal revenue. So we know right now that the quantity we'll do purple. The profit maximizing quantity is 11, because it's the last quantity where marginal revenue exceeds marginal cost. I've got price, that means 30 is the profit maximizing price. I know that when I produce 11, my average total cost can be 12 bucks. So my profit is going to be price times quantity minus average total cost times quantity, which will be, my price was 30 bucks. My quantity is 12. My average total cost is 12. I goofed up. My quantity is 11. My average total cost is 12, and my quantity is 11. So that means my total revenue equals, total revenue is going to equal 330 bucks. And my total cost is going to equal $132. When I subtract those two, I get a profit of $198. $198 is my maximum profit.